Yo, what is up guys, and welcome. It's InfernoKun back with The Walking Dead, the final season, here with, of course, the Skybound Q&A part 2. This time a lot more interesting because we have a bunch of questions that were answered by the creative director for the final season, known as Kent Mudle, and I promise you, it's a bunch of interesting and exciting details. So without further ado, I'm hyped. Let's go ahead and jump into this little discussion here. So the first one we have is pretty much about AJ, why he's super on edge, and it's due to, of course, his unique upbringing, him being in the apocalypse. We kind of already guessed that, and he believes you should be on alert all the time and ready for action, which definitely is showed with AJ's actions. Okay, definitely really cool explanation. He does not have any kind of condition genetically, like being Carver or anything, any kind of, he isn't like that. Okay, that's pretty much it. So moving on, next little question that was asked, it was about the dark themes in this season, and he goes ahead and says that, of course, throughout the whole game life cycle there has been a bunch of dark themes, and it was difficult to kind of just go ahead and explore one that hasn't been explored before. So there have been, of course, cannibals and various different things like that, children abuse, like in season 2 a little bit with Carver, various things like that. And there are kind of more dark things you could have gone for, but I can kind of see if you don't want to go down that territory for the most part. So the troubled youth, that isn't really too dark. That's mostly just, being bad and things like that. So it's not really too dark, but we might not be seeing any more darker things like the whole idea of what could possibly happen to Sophie and Minerva, but hey, I'm not sure. So let's go ahead and move on. The next question is very good. Okay, so it seems like they have established a rule for the game regarding determinate deaths. There will be some this season. We have not seen one yet. We had a determinate, appearance, pretty much, of course, save Violet, save Lewis. That's pretty much that. Not a death, but hey, there seems to be a determinate death somewhere, which is definitely really great. Okay, so the rule is, if a player's choice causes this death, it can only be caused by player choice. Okay, so that's definitely really great. It kind of avoids the whole, oh, I saved Sarah and then she still dies, or I save Nick and he still dies, and then, save Pete, he still dies, various things like that. More along the lines of Conrad, which is definitely really great. I am excited to go ahead and see who this is and what happens, because it could be a very interesting thing. Okay, definitely want some Carly type moments. That would definitely be really awesome. So moving on, pretty much a confirmation that there will be a pretty cool season in stat planned. Okay, definitely really awesome. Game of Thrones had a pretty awesome one that was voiced, but Walking Dead won't be voiced. It'll be, I guess, similar to the other ones, which were definitely really great as well. So hopefully it'll be awesome and it'll be very detailed. Moving on. Okay, so here a little bit of the theme explained. The theme is home, kind of like building one, fighting for one, and what you're willing to sacrifice for that home. That's definitely a really awesome theme. We have a bunch of themes throughout The Walking Dead that have been pretty awesome as well. So this one definitely fits, and I'm seeing it already. It's definitely really awesome. So here we have about James, okay, just how they came to make him. Okay, so they wanted a pacifist whisperer, because the whisperers, they aren't really that passive in the comics. Okay, so having James be the anti-violence type whisperer was a concept they explored, and it's definitely worked out because he's a pretty cool character, and confirmation that he will be back in the next episode, which is definitely really exciting. I can't wait to see more of James. I can't wait. Moving on, we have another one, which is definitely really great news, that Jared will be asked to come back. Okay, if you don't know who Jared is, you probably seen the name in the credits at the beginning and in. It's Jared Emerson Johnson. He does the score, the soundtrack for pretty much every Telltale game, and his soundtracks are definitely fantastic. So if he comes back to go ahead and score episode 4, that rhymes. But anyways, he has done episode 3 already before Telltale shut down. He made some of them, so hey, if he does not come back, which he most likely will, because I bet you he loves these projects and he wouldn't miss out on having his music in it, so it seems like he'll be back for some more music. awesomeness right there. Anyway, moving on, next one we have is about episode 3, the length of it, okay? So he says the length is about similar, if not a wee bit shorter than episode 2, which I am definitely fine with, because episode 2, you know, being long, just did a lot. And if this episode 3, is branched, which he said that it has a bunch of content, and it's also heavily branched depending on your choices. So, you know, having Violet there or Lewis there could be branched very heavily, and maybe even future choices that could happen in the episode could branch it even further. Could definitely be really awesome. So I'm okay with it being shorter if choices matter and the branches are really, really great. I am so excited. Let's go ahead and go to the other one where he says pretty much that, you know, episode 2 or episode 3 is a bit shorter, but of course heavily branched based upon if you go ahead and choose Violet or Lewis. And then it says a bunch of variability based on previous choices. So that's definitely really, really, really exciting. It seems like choices seem to matter a lot in episode 3 and 4. So fingers crossed, and I'm hoping, and I'm so very, very excited. So moving on, next question is about Lily, okay? So it seems like Lily was their top candidate for returning character, which is definitely really awesome, because like I said in my Lily video, she would make the story very complex because she is a complex character and of course interesting, and Kent says that as well. And apparently she went through several different iterations and roles before they went ahead and settled down on her role in the final season currently. So I wonder what those roles were. Could one have possibly been the leader of the boarding school? I don't know, but anyways, definitely really, really interesting. Here's more about Lily, basically her ideology about, you know, why she ended up, you know, killing Mitch, and, you know, why she's so violent and various stuff like that. And it's because survival, okay? At the end of the day, she cares about herself, and that's pretty much, you know, what I expected from Lily a little bit, but she's a lot more darker than I thought, and it seems as if they will go ahead and go deeper into that and explain her situation over at the Delta camp and why she is, you know, so mean, so stressed, and she seems to have a big task on her shoulder, which, you know, could be just the capture and training, or maybe something like that, of these children for her war, which is definitely really interesting. He also goes ahead and says that, you know, the Lily shooting in the forest was just for, you know, gameplay, and that she would probably shoot Clementine in the leg if she had a clean shot. But then he says that Lily would choose her own life over Clementine because she is a survivor. If Clem tries to kill her, she won't hesitate, you know, even with her feelings. Which is a bit confusing because she did hesitate to shoot Clementine at the end of episode 2. And that could have been the death of her right there. If, let's say, Violet or Lewis tackled Lily and stabbed her, she would have hesitated to kill Clementine at that point when danger was imminent. So definitely, I'm not sure. There might be a little bit of contradiction from Kent. I'm not questioning the director of the season, but, you know, I'm not sure. It's a bit more complex than that for the most part. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm gonna stop right there, okay? Lily definitely could be redeemed at some point, maybe. I'm not sure. Would you guys kill Lily? I think about it. I would definitely think about it, okay? She killed Mitch, so she isn't that bad. I mean, Mitch was okay, but, you know. Anyways, let's go ahead and go on. Next question was asked about 10 confirming that drawing that 10 did or didn't do and may have balled up will not make 10 mad and end up killing you in your sleep. Definitely great. Okay, so like I was thinking, you know, I'm part of the problem. Okay, so I was thinking that, hey, what if 10 gets really mad at you that you didn't let AJ or yourself be in the drawing, and then he slits your throat in your sleep? That'd be very bad. But I'm joking by the way. So it's gonna be more of a dialogue callback, not anything super important, but, you know, I wanted to go ahead and make it a bit funny and throw that in there. Anyway, next question, confirming the McCarroll Ranch will be expanded upon in a future episode. Definitely really awesome, because I wasn't really too fulfilled with that tease in episode 2, so glad we're going ahead and getting more McCarroll Ranch in the future. Definitely looking forward to that. Okay, here are a couple things that I want to go ahead and point out. One, Rewind was removed due to it being very buggy, and under 10% of the user base used it. You know, it was definitely a really good tool for like model swapping for me, and it helped me make content faster, and having to go ahead and replay the whole episode is definitely like, I mean, I love the game, but dang, I wish I can go ahead and get a specific scene recorded. It's very quick for me. It hurts me creating content and model swapping, various things like that. Not a big deal, but hey, it won't return. So I kind of understand it being very buggy. It wasn't worth the QA time. So I guess that's a very reasonable explanation. And then we have one from the Kenny ending. He said that Kenny's ending is intentionally left ambiguous for the final season. The harsh, I guess, world of The Walking Dead doesn't always give you closure. Clem has to move forward and make something new. Same for Krista, I guess? I'm not sure, but that could be it. So they won't be going into Kenny for you guys, so there's that confirmation, I guess. And he goes into relationships for the most part, using it as a tool to go ahead and get deeper connection to a character to make it emotional when they die. Because if Violet dies, I promise you, I'm already invested in her character, with Clementine being a current girlfriend, so I'd be devastated, okay? They already nailed down that for me, so, you know, I'm worried now. Anyways, then, of course, them confirming that they will, you know, of course, be very close to the original vision, because most of everything has already been approved by the whole team, so that's definitely really good as well. Then, questions about the Garcias. Will they be in the game again? No, they won't, okay? That's pretty much that. And then, we will be getting a reason why Clementine won't go back, or, you know, didn't go back to Richmond. I mean, he does say we have a reason. He didn't really say that we are getting that reason in the game, so I'm not sure. Take with that as you must. And then we got some more things about James not being a potential romance option for Clementine. Unfortunately for you James shippers out there, Lewis and Violet are the only planned romance options. Okay, and then pretty much we have another one. Episode 3 is planned to have a scene about why a number of characters ended up at the school, which is definitely really interesting. So it might go into why Sim, Willie, and maybe even some, you know, past characters that probably died ended up there. But of course, they won't go too much into the past, which is definitely understandable, because going into the past too much might be a bit, you know, time consuming and isn't really the big focus of the current story, okay? So moving on, we have one that answers about the Siege of Richmond. Apparently there was one before A New Frontier, but there was also one during A New Frontier, so it was referencing 2 events. Definitely really interesting there. Confirmation that the song Take Us Back will be playing somewhere in episode 4. Whether it be the ending, the credits, I don't know, but I'm kind of scared because that song definitely hurts inside. Anyways, hey, look right here, awesome one. We have some confirmation that, of course, Lewis will be expanded upon regarding his past, which is definitely really awesome. That's probably if you saved him, so I won't be getting that until I replay. But also Violet as well, which is definitely good for me. So definitely awesome. They're going into the past of both Violet and Lewis, giving us both content that we can enjoy from the 2 characters. So that's definitely really awesome as well. And then a question asking about the, you know, bias over Violet and Lewis. And he explains that Violet is more concerned about getting shit done and being prepared, while Lewis is more about having fun and, you know, just living life. So he explains that Violet is more about, you know, survival, and Lewis is more about living life. Okay, so that could be a theme for these 2 characters, and they are definitely just both great. And I don't know, man, it's just, you know, staying alive or feeling alive. You know, one of those two things. One being staying alive being Violet, and feeling alive being Lewis, okay, with his funny attitude. So that's definitely a really interesting concept for these two characters. But that's enough for me. I went on too long again. Thank you guys for watching this video. Definitely a really fun talking about all these details, and thanks to Skybound, thanks to Kent, Ian, for going ahead and doing this Q&A, because it has been a bunch of fun seeing these questions and discussing them with you guys on the channel. Go ahead and comment down below what you guys think about any of these particular questions and any just details you want to share with me, because this has definitely been really fun and awesome, and I love seeing your comments about this type of stuff. Definitely helps the discussion grow, and I really do appreciate you guys watching if you watched this far. So thank you all for watching this video. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you guys have enjoyed, and subscribe for more Walking Dead content like this. Hopefully not, because it's too long on the channel. I'm InfernoKun, and I'll catch you guys next time on The Walking Dead.